Well, hello everyone. We have a very interesting person with us here tonight. Nick, how are you?
I'm really good, Summer. Thanks for having me, and thanks for having me in your country. It's been great.
It's his first time here in Bahrain,
Yeah.
and he opened up for Derek May, and you had a lot of interesting questions to tell him. But I really want to know more about you.
Okay.
Can you tell Bahrain just a little bit about you?
Right, so I'm from New Zealand. I've been involved in radio and TV for a large part of my life. I've been doing radio since I was 13, TV since I was 14. And for the last 10 years, I'm really passionate about music and music of the world. And for the last 10 years, I've been making a TV series for National Geographic about music culture around the world. And yeah, discovering new music throughout Africa, the Caribbean, and I've been to the Middle East a number of times. And I've been working for this thing called the Rebel Music Academy. And yeah, I was lucky enough to be invited here to host this info session with Derek May, and also I played an episode from a documentary series that I made with my production partner Tu Neil this year about the history of Japanese video game music. So, but I also make music, I DJ, so I wear lots of different hats.
Of course, you have many talents in you.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, I want to know, you told us a little bit of a story that I want everybody to hear about. When you were a kid and about the old video game that you have. I want to know all about that right now.
Well, basically for me, my introduction to electronic music was the music of video games. We had like what was called a Commodore 64, which was an American computer. This is when I was about 6, 7 years old. And the music of those games for me was my first time I heard electronic music, and I used to love it. And then when I was about 10 years old, my older brother moved to Japan and bought like a Japanese Nintendo, sent it back to New Zealand, and I started learning Japanese so I could play the games, and I love the music. And so since I've been that age, I've always wanted to, that music stuck with me, and I always wanted to know more about the people that made it. And luckily this year, with Red Bull Academy being in Tokyo, I had the opportunity to make the series.
You brought attention to something really important, which is the artists who actually do the tracks for the video games. No, but we didn't know who they are. And your documentaries show us who did it. I don't know if it shows how they did it, but it's just, everybody's just enjoyed the people who actually made it. Can you tell us about the experience of meeting these artists? What did it mean to you?
Amazing, huge. You know, these guys, because unsubconsciously, I mean, at the time you don't think, oh, there's someone making the music for the game. It's playing, and you're playing the game. You're a kid. You know, that music, because we played games so much when we were kids, that music played more in our living rooms than sometimes pop music at the time, and it was really amazing to be able to, you know, shine the spotlight a little bit on these guys. They are incredible people. They're so humble. You know, back in Japan, they were what's known as salarymen or salarywomen. You know, they had an office job. They went to work. They just worked in office making music. They didn't even think that anyone would really hear their music outside the world, and they especially didn't realize what an impact that they had on the world of music, and especially with a lot of very famous international artists who will go on record and say, like, that was the most influential music for me. So it's been really cool.
It actually gets you more into the game, the track itself.
Of course,
really
man.
Beautiful.
I mean, if the music's bad in the game, then the game's going to be kind of bad, you know?
True.
But if the music's good, I mean, you never play a video game with the music off, right? You know, you try playing a game in silence. It's not much fun.
Sometimes I actually turn the volume up.
Totally.
I just love it. Even like the little soundtracks that come on. Okay, Nick, I actually have one more thing. Right now in 2014, let's say, they changed the system of the video games soundtracks. Like, it's not just soundtracks right now, it's actual music. Like People 15, you hear the track, the theme of it, it's beautiful.
I mean, it's like orchestral, you know, like, it's more and more like...
Now it's actually actual songs.
That's it.
So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, it's interesting. Did
it change your experience when you play the game itself?
It's interesting. I get asked this question a lot. I'm completely in love with the music of the 8-bit and 16-bit era. So the 80s and early 90s when it was chip music. Because I think there was something so unique, and it was this really unique form of electronic music. I think when game music became like real music, it lost a bit of its charm. Not to say that there's beautiful music being made now, but it's like regular music. It's not like the video game music that I used to know. And for me, I guess a mixture of nostalgia and then also the backstory of like knowing what these Japanese men and women had to go through to create that music on these limited chips. I really love the music from that period.
All right, that's really interesting. Okay, let's talk about a bit of the DJ part.
Yes.
Since we're here today and
Yes.
we spoke about Derek and the creation of techno music and all,
Yes.
what do you think of music today? The
well-
difference between techno and now? Like,
Oh, I mean, you know, techno is constantly evolving. I mean, it's incredible. You know, I mean, that's the amazing thing about dance music.
Yeah.
The evolution of electronic music. It just constantly evolves. It mutates. It spits off into these weird subgenres, and you know, it's healthy. It's always as healthy as it ever was. The thing I love though.
Yeah.
The fact that all of the old music from that period, it still holds its own, you know?
they actually even bring them back. Like
Yeah.
even the old tracks, they bring them back so that the new generation can have a taste
That's it.
of the old songs,
Yeah.
but in a different way. In dubstep music, for example.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
hear a lot of old tracks that are on dubstep now.
No, for sure. No, look, I mean, I'm a massive, ever since I kind of discovered electronic music when I was about 13 and I started going to raves, I've been absolutely in love with the evolution of electronic music, and I still constantly, every day, hear amazing things. So it's as awesome as it ever was.
That's really great. Well, thank you so much. I just want you to
Thank
look at the
you.
camera.
Yes.
Give us a message to all the Bahrainis who had a dream, just like you when you were a kid. What do you want to
Don't
tell them?
ever give up on your dream. You know, it's like, I think the thing is, if you can see it in your head, then it's yours. You know, if you can visualize it, then you can do it. And yeah, I mean, God, that sounded so cheesy. Never give up, Bahrain. But no, I think like it's so important to keep dreaming. You know, and to like constantly do whatever you can to achieve those dreams, and even if you fail, like you learn from everything. Like, you know, there's so much stuff that I wanted to do that for whatever reason didn't happen, but I tried, and then I learned stuff, and then, you know, it's all gathering experience and figuring out for the next time how to make things happen. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. You know, I flew in from Japan a couple of days ago. I fly back to New Zealand tomorrow, but I've had a wonderful time. Shokran, thank you. Dhanyawad. Wonderful country, very real. I don't want to compare you to other Gulf states, but you're the coolest Gulf state that I've been in.
Well, thank you so much, Nick. Thank you. It was lovely to have you.
Summer's the best.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.